Did it. There. Now it's on. Hey, y'all have to push the right buttons.
What is,
Jeez.
what is that alarm?
That's the loser button.
Oh, it's not Thursday yet.
I think we're all put together. God help us. God save the Queen. All that stuff. All right, I'm here. Are you there?
This synchronized swimming just cracks me. The looks on their faces.
You should see
Oh,
Josie
they
and
are.
Riley.
Gotcha. Okay. Sorry. Sorry. Yeah, mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do I have to, can I stand? Do I have to sit or can I? Okay. Okay, that's fine. I won't fight you. It's your world, Babs. I'm just doing TV in it. And just, I do not have to do prompter correct. I don't have to do prompter correct.
Topping 2,000. Another spike in COVID cases hits the Buckeye State. We'll break down what the numbers mean. Plus,
I'm like you. I'm vaccinated, and I was enjoying getting out without a mask. But now is not the time to let up on our hard work to combat this virus.
masks are returning to Cuyahoga County, where you'll be required to wear them.
Legally speaking, how quickly can a landlord evict their tenants? We have the answer and what you need to know about the new eviction ban.
And I just planted my knee wrong, tore my ACL, both my meniscus.
Bouncing back stronger than ever. Hear one teen's determination to get back in the game after several life challenges.
Play ball. Your Cleveland Guardians are ready to suit up for the 2022 season. We have the team scheduled tonight on What's New, which starts right now.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Hello again, Northeast Ohio, and thank you so much for choosing What's New on, I know I'm sounding like a broken record here, this picture-perfect summer afternoon.
That's not a bad thing.
It's a great day.
It's much better than being rickrolled or having an earworm or something along those lines.
Oh my goodness, absolutely.
You can do that every day.
Yeah, this is beautiful. Good afternoon to you at home. Alongside Betsy Kling, I'm Jay Crawford. Betsy, good afternoon to you.
And to you too. Boy, we have a lot to get to today.
We do. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
First at 5, we start with more discouraging news on the COVID-19 front. We've been telling you for the past week about our elevating cases here in Ohio, and today, for the first time since April, we've topped 2,000 daily cases. In fact, we were at 2,100 367 new cases today. And just for a little bit of context, just 2.5 weeks ago, we had only 301 daily cases. Hospitalizations and ICUs stay above the 21-day average. This is a trend now as well.
It is. And also today, Cuyahoga County announced it's recommending everyone, regardless of vaccination status, mask up again. She's standing here. You know this is going to be our top story when Monica Robbins is with us. Yeah. Monica, there's a lot of folks that are, you know, a little bit upset about the required word, but it's still at this point, most every place is doing recommendations on the broad scale.
Yes.
Individual businesses, entities, buildings, all that, they can mandate all they want to.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, bottom line, look, Delta is here. It's spreading fast among the unvaccinated, which is why Cuyahoga County Board of Health is supporting the CDC and recommending everyone wear masks indoors and near others. Now, the recommendation is for everyone, regardless of vaccination status. And in areas of substantial or high transmission, which includes Cuyahoga County, the guidance applies to everyone 2 and up who are medically able. All teachers, staff, students, and visitors to schools should also mask regardless of vaccination status. And if you have COVID symptoms, get tested. If you have a known exposure, get tested 3 to 5 days afterward. Isolate if you test positive for 10 days. And the county executive also requiring masks in county buildings.
To reaffirm the importance of this, I'm signing an executive order stating that employees and the public, regardless of their vaccination status, must wear masks in all county buildings effective tomorrow, August 5th. This applies in public spaces, around others, in our buildings. I encourage other companies in the county to do the same to protect employees and customers.
So why all this? Well, Jay mentioned the numbers earlier. Butish says we're actually seeing around 61 cases per 100,000, which is up from 39 just a week ago. And the CDC says 93% of new cases in the U.S. are the Delta variant. So it's important to remember, though, these are recommendations, not mandates from county and state. You will be seeing more businesses requiring workers and even visitors to start wearing masks again. It is their prerogative. Think back to the no shirt, no shoes, no service signs. Well, they may once again include masks. While hospitalization rates are still relatively low, they are inching up day by day. About 5% of the state's ICUs are now occupied with COVID patients, and this is a trend we do not want to see.
No, but we know now, because history has been our guide here, that the hospitalizations and deaths tend to lag behind our increase in cases, which, by the way, have doubled now twice in the last month.
Right.
That's frightening.
Yes.
What about big events? Because, you know, for so long, obviously, Indians games, we had to wear masks. We've got Brown season coming up here in a little more than a month. We're going to have a game at the stadium over here. Are we going to be wearing masks at these?
You know, it's going to depend on the venue. It's going to depend on those groups to decide whether or not they're going to do that. And those venues take place in the city of Cleveland. So the city of Cleveland Health Department would have to make that call as well. Don't be surprised, though, if the city is going to put out recommendations as well. But so far, no mandates this time statewide. And if you are unvaccinated, wearing a mask and avoiding large crowds, just a really smart idea right now. Or just go get the shot.
I gotta tell you, most of the people that I know who are vaccinated are wearing masks again.
Yeah.
It's just common sense at this point.
And, you know, like we talked about earlier in the week, bottom line, can a vaccinated person give Delta to another vaccinated person? It's possible, but it's like winning the lottery or getting hit by lightning.
So extremely doubtful.
Yeah, and only 10%, we're only seeing about 10% of breakthrough cases. So in 100 people, 10 might have a breakthrough. They're probably not even going to notice it. They're not going to get that sick. And the danger is they can still transmit it to an unvaccinated person.
I don't want to take it home to my tiny human Violet.
Yep.
So that's the whole thing. Protect your family. Just like we've been
if you're
doing the whole
living with
time.
someone, and in your case you are, who's
kids.
not vaccinated, you almost have to.
Yep. Right.
You almost have to.
All right. Monica, as always, thank you so much. Well, we do have some good news to share on all of this. The New York Times is reporting that the FDA is aiming to give full approval to the Pfizer vaccine by next month. According to several sources, the unofficial deadline is Labor Day or sooner. The FDA announced late last week that it has taken an all-hands-on-deck approach and was moving forward as rapidly as possible on Pfizer's application. A full approval could help increase the number of vaccinations. A lot of people are waiting for that full approval because they still have concerns about the shot's safety, but that should be coming soon.
Betsy, now on your feet at 5, the stage is set. Democrat Shontel Brown will face Republican Laverne Gore for the 11th Congressional District Seat in November. 3 News' Austin Love joins us now with what's coming up next. Austin, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, hey, Jay. It was a contentious and also fierce race that's now over. Shontel Brown defeating Nina Turner by a slim margin to win the Democratic primary for the 11th District Congressional Seat. It was a battle between 2 different candidates divided by very key political ideologies and also backing. Brown's campaign very loyally was with President Biden's agenda, and Turner continues to support the progressive left. Differences that clashed in nasty television ads that we all saw. Now Shontel Brown will be taking on Republican candidate Laverne Gore, who won her primary race in a landslide. Looking at the heated race between Brown and Turner, Gore is now gearing up for an ugly fight ahead.
That got to a point that I don't think it was dignified. This is totally unreflective of what my concept of leadership and the office of Congress of the United States of America means. And I would have probably told you, no, that's not going to happen. We're going to be dignified and we're going to respect the office. We're going to respect the people. No, I think I'm up for a cat fight, not a dog fight.
Yeah, strong words and a strong fight is exactly what Gore will need. The Republican is going after a seat that hasn't been held by a GOP candidate since the 80s. So coming up at 6, Jay, I also spoke with Shontel Brown just a few minutes ago. Hear her reaction to winning and why she doesn't plan for this race to get quite as ugly. And Jay, something different for you here in Northeast Ohio. We love a good high school rivalry. Both John Adams high school grads, so it's a battle of the rebels for Congress. Something to look forward to.
Very good. I'm sure that won't change the way they're going to go at one another. It looks like it's going to be hot and heavy for the next couple of months.
Been a long way since high school. Yep.
The CDC issued a new order that bans landlords from evicting tenants in parts of the U.S., and yes, that does include most of Northeast Ohio. The CDC says the order impacts areas with, quote, substantial and high transmission of the coronavirus. If counties improve their COVID rates and don't experience substantial and high transmission for 14 days, tenants will no longer be protected by the moratorium. This new order will expire on October 3rd. But could landlords evict tenants immediately? Well, our legal expert Stephanie Haney explains your rights in today's Legally Speaking.
Now that the nationwide federal moratorium on evictions is over, renters across the country who have fallen behind on payments during the COVID-19 pandemic are worried about getting kicked out of their homes. Legally speaking, that can't happen overnight. There are lots of protections in place to prevent your landlord from moving too quickly to get you out. You can be evicted for a lot of reasons, including not being able to pay your rent. But there's a specific process that has to be followed to get there. And while it's playing out, you can stay in your home. In Ohio, the eviction process generally takes about 5 weeks. In most cases, it starts with your landlord posting a 3-day notice on your door to let you know they plan to try to evict you. If you can come up with the money you owe during that 3 days, they might call the whole thing off. If not, after that 3 days passes and not a minute before, your landlord then has to file your eviction case in court. And if your landlord doesn't file right away, that adds to the time you have to get a plan together. Once the case is filed, it could be 2 to 3 weeks before a hearing is scheduled. That is where a judge will decide either to grant or deny your eviction. Without a court order to evict, your landlord cannot make you leave your home. If the landlord wins and your eviction is ordered, you generally have 5 to 10 days to get your things out of your rental. If you don't, only then can your landlord schedule a time with a bailiff to remove your property. But even with a court order to evict you, the landlord still can't just change your locks and put your things on the curb by themselves. That's called self-help, and that's illegal. This is Stephanie Haney, Legally Speaking, for 3 News.
We have an official start date for the new chapter of Cleveland baseball. MLB announced its 2022 schedule today, and they have your Cleveland Guardians playing their first official game on March 31st of next spring. That's when they're scheduled to host the Kansas City Royals. I say scheduled because, as we all know, March baseball and Cleveland weather do not always go hand in hand.
Hey.
It's not Betsy's fault. As she says, she is in promotion, not production.
Marketing.
Marketing, not production.
Not
yeah.
production.
She doesn't make the weather. She just tells you what it's going to be. In fact, the Guardians' first 6 games next season will all be at Progressive Field. They open with a 3-game set against the Royals, and then the Twins come to town for another 3 games. So good job, MLB. Let's put the first 6 games in Cleveland.
Yeah.
You could have a lot of rainouts or snowouts, if you will.
Every year we get those March dates, and I think, oh,
why?
This is just the stress.
Now, this is an interesting side note to all of this. On the naming front, they may be in for a bit of a legal battle because according to a piece in Yahoo.com, the Cleveland Guardians roller derby team, who knew, they've been using the name Cleveland Guardians since 2014, and they also filed for trademark. Now, they did it a few days after the Indians, but according to Yahoo's article, they claim U.S. trademark law generally awards rights to first to use, not first to file.
Whoa.
However, I talked to our resident lawyer, Stephanie Haney, about this earlier this afternoon. She tells me of a 2013 change in trademark law that tends to give a clear advantage to first inventor to file.
To file.
So there you have it.
Okay.
Now, inventor could be a question.
Yeah.
The Indians didn't invent the name Cleveland Guardians. The roller derby team did. So it's going to be really interesting. My guess is they'll end up figuring this out, even if they have to write checks to do it. But it's not exactly smooth.
That's one of those things like, okay, here we go. Pomp and circumstance, roll it out.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way.
Yeah.
Oopsies.
Yeah, I know. We'll continue to follow it.
Oh, my word.
All right, coming up next on What's New, I'm more than my medals. That's what Simone Biles was saying today. She wants everyone to know what she's really about. We're going to hear from the gymnast and the greatest of all time, in fact, in the view of many, and her experience in Tokyo as it wraps up following a challenging couple weeks with her career. We'll tell you what she has in mind after these Olympics.
And then Tony Bennett is working on some new music. You heard that right.
Wow.
Which superstar he's making an album with now?
He's got to be over 50.
A little bit.
All right, our first hello of the day to Matt Wentz. Matt, you did it. You topped yesterday. A little warmer today, but still gorgeous.
I agree. I thought the added heat today was nice. It's just certainly gorgeous outside. 70s for your outdoor dining forecast. Picture perfect. We do have storms and some building heat coming up. We'll take you through those numbers.
What's New is sponsored by Cleveland Clinic, celebrating 100 years of care.
I'm more than my medals in gymnastics. I'm a human being, and I've done some courageous things outside of this sport as well, and I'm not a quitter. And it took all of that realizing to see that, because I don't think if this situation didn't happen, I would have never seen it that way.
Simone Biles reflecting with Hoda Kotb on the Today Show earlier this morning after ending her run in Tokyo yesterday. This following her bronze medal performance in the balance beam.
Biles has had so much support for opening up about her mental health over the last week. It's really been what everybody has been talking about.
And Simone also told Hoda that she's keeping the door open. This is very interesting because she'll be 27 for the 2024 Olympics in Paris.
But remember, that doesn't mean she's going all in with every event. She can pick and choose a little bit. But
I think you said yesterday, just pick one event, focus on that, and do it.
I think that, I think it's amazing what she can do already. And boy, that would just be over and above. 27 years old and preparing for another Olympics.
Wow.
Woo.
Good for her.
I'll tell you what, talk about preparing. Matt Wentz today sweating it out in the forecast process. Really, really difficult. Because kind of all we did was copy yesterday's numbers. Nothing has changed.
That's
it's
easy.
beautiful.
Perfect. Yeah.
That's a sign of our accuracy, Betsy Kling. I'm sure these other stations are changing their numbers all over the place.
Well, if you weren't accurate today, it wouldn't have worked, or yesterday, it wouldn't have worked for today.
It's been carrying over beautifully.
That's the way it works. Your weather word today, Matt, this is going to be very difficult, very difficult. But coming off the Simone Biles, greatest of all time, acronym for GOAT.
Oh.
Good luck.
Which is your word.
My wife asked me the other day, I'm going to call her out. She doesn't know what I do during the day. She said to me, she's like, what does GOAT mean? Why is everyone calling her the GOAT? And I was like, honey, this all started with LeBron, didn't it? Isn't that where GOAT came from?
I think the first time I ever heard it was Jerry Rice.
Oh, Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yep.
All right. I'm getting time cues in my ear already. I got to go over the weather wall. Hey, guys, by the way, I was looking up March 31st around here for the Tribe Home Opener. Last year it was 64 degrees. It was beautiful. Year before it was 45. Year before that was 34. We had snow. But let's just focus on last year, shall we? We'll be just fine. And speaking of just fine, boy, temperatures are fantastic once again. Just a touch warmer. We continue with the low dew points. That means we have comfortable air. But notice how it's kind of hodgepodge. Up near 60 out in Ashtabula County, 61 downtown. A lot of the crops, the vegetables we have growing across northern Ohio emit evapotranspiration, right? They put that moisture in there. So we're going to start to see these kind of hodgepodge dew points as they start to creep up over the next couple of days. But a strong northeast wind continues. That's off a system off towards the north and east that continues that refreshing air. A couple of cumulus clouds along the lake breeze. You can see that rain we were highlighting last couple of days, just an isolated shot. It's staying east out towards Pittsburgh right now. Should stay there overnight as this moisture remains trapped. But otherwise, we are looking great on the satellite. In terms of the big picture setup, it is wet across the southeast and the eastern seaboard. This system will miss us. We'll begin to turn our attention off towards the west. Another beautiful day tomorrow, but by Friday things get moving again, and this system will move in with just some clouds, maybe a stray shower, but we will notice more clouds as we get into the Friday. But another gorgeous day tomorrow. National Design Mart Hour by our forecast. Cool once again tonight, back into the 50s to near 60 by afternoon tomorrow. We ought to make a run into the mid 80s. You can see a couple stray showers. I'm not really buying that tomorrow. Should be mainly dry. By tomorrow evening, another quiet night. And then we'll start to bring in that humidity. I know a lot of horses and goats around northeast Ohio just love that humidity, don't they? And that's really going to be building into next week as we really crank this pattern up. Union Home Mortgage 7-day forecast. We're doing the dance around the mid 80s over the next couple days. Isolated storm chance on Saturday. Then the heat comes with 90s Sunday, Monday, and very stormy as we get on into Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll be back with more after this.
You still got me? Sarah, is Sarah in the booth? Is there Nats after the Lady Gaga story or no? Okay, cool. So I just took out that last line about the Instagram thing.
It's time now for your daily dose of entertainment news. And as always, Kara Cotton joins us.
Kara, good to see you. Your first story this afternoon is about a push to have a new television show starring single dads?
Yes, I know it sounds crazy, but I'll tell you the star behind the push, okay?
Okay.
Dancing with the Stars pro Gleb Sevchenko has been doing a different two-step when it comes to parenting his two daughters. Sevchenko, who recently split from his wife of 14 years, has been spending more time with his 10-year-old and 4-year-old than he ever has before. And in a recent interview, he described the appeal a reality show about his new way of life would have, saying, "Hot single dads with kids, game over. I say, get this man a contract." And music sensation Lizzo is tossing her hair and checking her nails. The 33-year-old singer announced this week that new music is on the way. Dressed in all gold, telling us all to shush, the songstress posted a promotional photo with the caption, "New Era, Rumors 813. The single's release will be Lizzo's first since the release of her third studio album, 'Cause I Love You, back in 2019. And Lady Gaga and Tony Bennett are joining forces yet again. After a joint concert at Radio City Music Hall in honor of Tony's 95th birthday yesterday, the duo announced the release of their second joint album, a tribute to Cole Porter titled Love for Sale. Over the years, the two have formed a special bond, releasing Cheek to Cheek, a joint jazz album back in 2014. And work. I totally didn't do that justice, but entertainment mogul Rihanna is officially a billionaire. Forbes confirmed the news this morning, and from the looks of things, we'll still have to keep waiting for that new music, guys.
I know.
Work.
I thought you did it justice. I thought you did it just fine.
I
It took me a minute to lock in on what you're doing. I'm like, what is she doing? Why is she moving like that?
I saw what she did there. Back to Tony Bennett, 95 years old. I think there is a lesson in that story for everyone, and here's what it is. Obviously, not everyone has the ability and the talent to sing like that. But at 95 years old, he's starting a new project. Proving you're never too old to do what you love to do.
Absolutely.
Like, find what's your passion, whatever it is, keep doing it. It keeps you moving, keeps you going.
And I love to watch Lady Gaga fangirl all over him.
Right? Bring the younger generation with you.
So cute.
And we're the winner, by the way, of that
Yes.
collaboration, because that music is absolutely top shelf.
Definitely.
As good as it gets.
Thanks, Kira.
Sure thing.
Next for us here on What's New, changes to a very popular local family event. Take a deep breath, everybody. It's okay. We'll tell you about a new addition to the Cuyahoga Valley Scenic Railroad and what it's going to be replacing.
You know, when I heard this story, I literally thought of you.
Oh, I was like, ugh.
Yeah, I know. I thought of you immediately. Then, as we set to wrap up the Olympics in Tokyo, a number of athletes still have to compete in the finals. Will Ewick joins us with an update on our local Olympians.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
We begin now with three things you need to know at 5:30. First, more than 2,100 COVID cases were reported in the last 24 hours. That's the first time that we have topped 2,000 cases since April. This comes as Cuyahoga County is recommending all residents and visitors wear masks when indoors, regardless of vaccination status. County Executive Armin Budish is also recommending all teachers, staff, and students wear masks at the start of school. Budish also will sign an executive order stating all employees and the public must wear masks regardless of vaccination status when in county buildings. That goes into effect tomorrow.
Well, Betsy, we're learning more about that house explosion yesterday on Cleveland's east side. Today, the Cleveland Fire Department confirming that it was gas-related and it was an accident. Both people who were injured are in Metro's burn unit and remain in critical condition. The house exploded yesterday afternoon on the 3600 block of East 57th Street.
And a Northeast Ohio tradition is coming to an end. Cuyahoga Scenic Valley Railroad announced today it's ending the very popular Polar Express. Now, before parents begin to panic, it's launching a new experience that will be called North Pole Adventure. Here's the details. After getting the feedback from before, the organizers decided it was time for a change, and the North Pole Adventure will take riders on a brand new quest to write and hand deliver letters that are addressed to Santa to the North Pole's postmaster. Maybe it is a pole master up there, you never know. Families will still get to enjoy a cup of hot cocoa, cookies, sing Christmas carols, and visit Santa and his elves. The key
I
here,
think that's good.
Hand delivering the notes that you just wrote.
Yeah. Do you like the change?
I think we're going to be in wait and see mode. We'll see how they do it. The Polar Express, man, I mean, it was the build up to the actual trip.
Sure.
You know, you had to watch the movie and read the book, and and this is going to be different. But
well, I think the good thing is it will hook in people that have already done it before and said, you know, we've done it. There's no need to do it again. Well, now there is.
Well, the end goal is the same. Get your letter to Santa.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That hasn't changed.
Yeah.
All right. With that, we welcome you back, of course, to What's New on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon in Northeast Ohio. He's Jay Crawford. I'm Betsy Kling. And our day just kind of continues to march along.
Yeah,
Can't believe
it does.
It's Wednesday.
Hearing that story and seeing that snow video makes
I
me
know.
so glad that we have perfect weather outside.
It's kind of a
right
nice
now.
little
Yeah, right.
juxtaposition for sure.
Enjoy it while we have it.
Exactly.
as you
And of course,
always
the
say.
Summer Olympics continue on
Yep.
too. That's kind of icing on the cake for us. And Ohio can claim another Olympic medal in Tokyo, while some other athletes are still taking their crack at making the podium in the coming hours.
Yeah, Will Ewick joins us now with more on our Ohio athletes in Tokyo. Will, it's time again for our Olympics happy hour. Hopefully it is happy.
It's happy if I can wake myself up here, because this was an action-packed night/morning for us here in the States. I actually had to set 4 separate alarms just to get me back up to watch and record everyone. So let's start with Rio's bronze medalist. This is Clayton Murphy, the University of Akron product. He was in the 800-meter finals this morning, looking for a repeat trip to the podium. But this race had a very different feel to it. Murphy gets boxed in midway through the race, couldn't keep his line, a little bumping, shoving on the way. He just never could recover, finished 9th. Now that gold medal time was 1:45.06. So a little comparison for you. Clayton's race in the semifinals, he finished 1:44.18. So he has the time in him. Not happy about this one today for Clayton. Over to boxing, Toledo's O'Shea Jones taking on Gu Hong of China for a trip to the finals. Tough bout, scored in favor of Hong 4-1, so Jones settles for the bronze, but hey, still a bronze medal. What an amazing run for her, for the first time Olympian, bringing a medal back to the Buckeye State. Also in action 3 different times over the morning. Dayton's David Taylor, men's freestyle wrestling, and he just rolled all 3 times. 2-time NCAA champ, he racked up wins of 11-0, 12-2, and 10-0. Now he finds himself the gold medal match tomorrow against Hassan Yazdani of Iran. That match should occur sometime around 7:30 local time, so he's guaranteed a silver already. And still to come in Tokyo, the Ohio State product Kyle Snyder. You'll remember him. He's the gold medalist from Rio. He's going to look to repeat on the podium when the 97-kilogram weight class takes the mat tomorrow night. So a couple of big ones coming up tonight, guys. We have Duke Reagan back in the ring. He's looking for gold. Joe Kovacs, the shot putter, he is going to be looking for gold in the finals. That is right here at WKYC Primetime.
So exciting.
Yeah. The wrestling. The two guys left, good chances.
Really good chances.
I mean, super good chances to bring back a couple of
I watched
golds.
this guy last night, Jay, and I got to tell you, I'm not a wrestling savant. I don't know the scoring. But you don't have to be to realize that he had the upper hand the entire
Very
time.
dominant.
He just rolled through those three. The guy he's fighting now for the gold, I'll have to double check. I think he's faced him twice and beat him already.
All right,
good chance that maybe 2 wrestling gold medals coming back to Ohio.
That'd be nice.
Be all right with that.
We definitely are a wrestling state.
Yeah.
Looking to prove that again tonight. All right. Well, thanks. Appreciate it. Coming up on the Olympic Zone with Jimmy, he's going to go in depth on Ohio State graduate Kyle Snyder, a one-man wrecking crew on that wrestling mat, and why a member of Team USA has a special connection to the host country of Japan. That and so much more coming up tonight on Olympic Zone at 7:30. And still ahead on What's New, a family legacy running deep. We're going to introduce you to Michi Johnson, following his hoop dream, even through struggles.
And how one local community came together today honoring a special veteran. That's ahead in Show Us Something Good. And of course, we're keeping an eye on that forecast, Matt.
Yeah, this could double as Show Us Something Good. I mean,
That's true.
Skycam's just looking fantastic. A little bit of haze, but overall, I don't think anyone's complaining about the sunshine out there. Now, the temperature map behind me, the blues are below average, red is above average. Watch what happens as we get into the weekend. That red expands and we go above average big time around here. We'll take you through the latest numbers. We've also got to look at the percentage of 90s remaining this year, at least climatologically. We'll be back with those after the break.
The Summer Games Medal Count is sponsored by Dollar Bank. Let's get you there.
All right, Matt, so last night at 11, at our 11 or 11:30, whatever time, post-Olympics newscast that we have every evening, I've been giving folks kind of the current temperature in Tokyo because it's midday at that point, and then kind of the forecast for the rest of the afternoon. Last night at 11:30, it was 93 degrees with a dew point of 79.
Awful. It's 79 there right now with a dew point of 73, so they have some drier air. But you're right. I mean, they've had that just tropical dew point. It's insane how humid it is there. More humid than Florida, you know?
Yeah.
So those athletes, especially the track athletes, really going through it, all those outdoor events for sure. You know, Betsy, I was just looking, the Weather Service in Pittsburgh just confirmed another tornado from last Thursday. Remember we broke into coverage last Thursday? There were 39 total tornado reports out of that event across the country. Ohio had 10 tornadoes. Pennsylvania had 16 of them last Thursday. If you remember back to that, Carroll County, that's the one we broke in for, had a confirmed EF0 with that. So certainly rough weather almost a week ago, right? It doesn't seem like it's really done much since then as everything's been cleared out. Did a little digging. If you like numbers, here you go. If you don't, just plug your ears for the next couple of seconds here. The 90-degree days on the year, we average about 64% of them by now, right? So that's about 2/3 of our summer is officially over. Our average last 90-degree day, August 20th. So this is the month that typically we see our last 90. Last couple of years, not so much. It's been later. But forecasted highs, here you go. Here come the 90s again. Sunday, Monday, as it looks right now. Next week, we're going to be pretty close to that as well. Today, not 90. Very comfortable today. 84 officially at New Philly. 83s from Akron to Mansfield. Cleveland checking in at 80 degrees. That northeast wind off the lake keeping Cleveland and Ashtabula cooler. That wind will switch around to southerly over the next couple days as we start to bring in warmer air. But look at this. Calm winds tonight. Clear skies. That's a recipe for some cooling. We're going to cool down quickly again. Models have been a little bit higher than where our temperature's been going. So I think upper 50s once again. We got down to 55 once again last night at Hopkins. It was 53 the night before. So a little bit warmer tonight as we add more moisture. A little moisture stuck as we've been predicting last couple days over towards Pittsburgh, downstate. We may see some clouds leak into areas of Tuscarawas and Carroll counties this evening. Other than that, we are high and dry. All the rain off the eastern seaboard. This will be our next system. It's not going to be much of a weather player for us locally. Sunny tomorrow once again, very similar to today. But Friday, this system will come in from the west. It'll be weakening as it does so. As we typically do the second half of our 5 o'clock, the National Design Mart big picture look over the next couple days. Yeah, some lingering moisture tomorrow. Not going to really do a whole lot to our forecast, but as you watch this system come in Friday, we'll have clouds with this, but the system kind of gets locked up towards our north. That will set the stage for next week as a frontal boundary develops towards our north. This will go back to that Floridian pattern we had a couple weeks ago where we get these big clusters of storms that roll along the boundary, just kind of messy. But we're not there yet. This weekend looks pretty high and dry as we start to heat things up. You can see the bulk of the rain staying off towards our west on into the weekend. Thing that won't stay off towards our west, humidity. Slowly creeping up into the tropical category. Next week looks humid. Betsy and I were going over numbers, and we're going to have some overnight lows in the low, maybe even mid-70s in spots. So that's some thick stuff. You can see it here, Union Hill Mortgage 7-day forecast. Yeah, beautiful day tomorrow, 84, some sunshine. We'll bring in more clouds Friday with that system. Notice the heat returning this weekend. Storm chances really ramp up late Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday as it looks right now. But today was a great day for a birthday.
Boy, it certainly was a very special happy birthday to Army World War II veteran Chester Lloyd Jr., who turned 100 today. It is our show us something good, of course. A car parade drove by the Cleveland VA Medical Center earlier for Chester, his caregivers and family by his side for the surprise as he wipes tears of joy. He's in hospice care at the VA, so having the community out to show him love on this milestone day meant the world to him. And Betsy, I just love that he's got his best suit on, and his hat on, and he's dressed to the nines.
Top hat.
And Mr. Chester, sir, to you, we say a collective thank you.
Oh, big time.
For your service.
And happy birthday.
Absolutely.
There's that too.
100.
That's a big number.
Wow.
I hope I look that good at 100. I have my doubts. All right, coming up for us, the games continue as Team USA continues to rack up medals. We're live from Tokyo with what's ahead today.
But first, rising to the challenge, the story of one basketball player who thought he'd never play again. A story so good, LeBron reshared it on social, and we're going to tell you that story. It's our Heart of Gold, and it's next.
Everyone is a champion in their own way. Our Heart of Gold series highlights champions who've been knocked down and found a way to rise again.
Tonight, Lindsey Buckingham is sharing the story of a bright young star from a basketball dynasty whose own struggles taught him a lot about family and staying true to your dreams.
In the Johnson family, this legacy runs deep.
In basketball, it runs in the family.
My brother Sonny, he was a Division I player, and he was Mr. Basketball of Ohio.
Sonny Johnson isn't taking anything for granted.
Demetrius Johnson is assistant coach here at Garfield Heights High School under his brother Sonny. And his son Michi, a high school standout with hoop dreams of playing D1 ball in college, until he thought he might never play again.
So when I was a sophomore in high school, it was around the playoffs, and everything was going well. That game, I think I had over 30 points, getting the rebound, pushing transition. I just planted my knee wrong, tore my ACL, both my meniscus. And I actually tried to come back and finish that game, but I couldn't. When it first happened, I was devastated. What does this mean for me?
A lot of players, you know, they don't come back from ACL injury.
Already struggling. Then this.
When I tore my ACL, that's when I got the news of my granddad first getting cancer.
But just like basketball, the Johnsons always bounce back.
Taking chemo every day and fighting for his life. It's like, wow, like I gotta fight. If he fight for his life like this, I can definitely go harder in basketball.
16 months on the bench, Michi watched the game go on without him.
I just felt that I can come back stronger.
And that's exactly what he did.
You know, I've seen players come back better. And when I tell you that my son just attacked the rehab like he did on the court, it motivated me to, just push them, like to really zone in and say, you can do it.
When I got back to a point where I knew, like, okay, I'm back to where I'm at. Now let's get better.
Not just better, the best he'd ever been.
I'm just proud, as his father. I always teach my son, it's not what you go through, it's how you go through it.
And colleges noticed, including Ohio State. Michi's dream coming true, but with strings attached.
I'm just thinking like, wow, like, what can this do for me, like going to college early?
OSU wanted Michi sooner rather than later, forcing him to choose between playing his senior year with lifelong friends and teammates, or graduating early and moving to Columbus.
It took a lot of prayer, just a lot of prayer and talking to the family, weighing the odds out.
The leap paid off.
Some days I just ride past the gym and I just look at it and be like, wow, like I play here. Like thousands of people come here to see me play, see my team play.
He's got someone else watching him play too.
Me and LeBron's real good friends right now to this day. He was like the #1 player in the state of Ohio, and I was the #2 player in the state of Ohio at the time. So we were just close friends.
He showed up to a couple of my games in high school and, we just always showing love and support at Cavs games and stuff like that. He's a great man, on and off the court. He's a great dude.
His mentor, inspiring Michi to help those who will follow in his footsteps.
I just want people to, know to keep going, man. And, like I said, attack everything that comes your way because it's easy to give up. It's easy to throw in the towel and, say I'm done. So I just try to inspire people the best way I can.
Lindsey Buckingham, 3 News.
Oh, what a cool story. Michi is training in Columbus. He's gearing up for his first full season at OSU. I was speaking with Lindsey earlier today. She's so excited because LeBron shared her story on his Instagram feed.
Very cool.
So now not just the Cleveland audience gets to know Michi's story, but the world, because we know what LeBron's reach is on social media. Very cool story. Lindsey, well done. And good luck to Michi as he continues to chase that hoop dream.
Right? Go Bucks.
Yeah, absolutely. Fun to be able to still watch him as he plays now for the Buckeyes. Next, we're heading to Tokyo as Team USA continues to tackle track and field. We'll tell you how the rivalry is going as these medals stack up going into the finals. It's getting real.
Then on What Matters Most at 6, the parents of a former St. Edward High School athlete are speaking out after they say their son was assaulted by a teammate. The 3 News investigation is coming up.
Left because I only get 10 days. Hey, mic check, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, mic check. Laura Queso's mic. Good evening to you. I'm Laura Queso. Thanks so much for joining us. So it's like.
That moment when he looks at the kid and realizes, oh my God, that's mini-me. Yes, I do. Mic check, Monica. Buter says we're actually seeing around 61 cases per 100,000.
Hey, Al, testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Good evening and thanks for being with us. I'm Russ Mitchell. I'm Laura Queso. New local developments in the COVID-19 first, the case.
Well, here we are. We're getting down to the final few days of the Olympic Games, and they are packed with action, too, with tournaments heating up now. You've got the finals coming up in baseball as well as basketball, and big wins continue for the U.S. on the track.
Yep, 2 of the fastest female hurdlers in the world are on Team USA. Their biggest drive for speed is each other. NBC's Liz McLaughlin has more now from Tokyo.
Muhammad's trying to hold on. McLaughlin on the inside.
A record-breaking rivalry in the 400-meter hurdles.
I know that every single time the 2 of us step on the track, it's going to be something fast.
Pushing Sydney McLaughlin to gold in the final steps, with U.S. teammate Dalila Muhammad close behind.
The 4 times that we competed, we got 4 world records, so it's definitely iron sharpening iron.
Healthy competition pushing 2 Americans to the top of the podium. 2 more medals for the U.S. in the men's 200. Kenneth Bednarik with silver and favorite Noah Lyles finishing bronze. In men's pole vault, a silver medal meant an Olympic dream come true for Christopher Nilsson.
I think I'm kind of starting to realize that I actually did it.
Another silver for the U.S. after Courtney Frerichs guts it out in the women's 3,000-meter steeplechase. Off the track,
he struck him out and Team USA survives.
The U.S. baseball team beats the Dominican Republic to stay in the running for a medal. And buckets for women's basketball, advancing to the semifinals in the team's quest for 7 consecutive golds. In the skate park, it's young faces dropping into the new sport, including California dweller Sky Brown, who rolled into a bronze for Great Britain.
She sticks the kickflip Indy.
Becoming the 3rd 13-year-old to win a skateboarding medal.
And more skateboarding action on the way. The men's park final coming up. I'm actually sporting that skateboarding jersey. Looking forward to that. That'll happen overnight your time. And then just so many track and field updates if you've been following those local athletes. We've got Clayton Murphy actually didn't medal in the 800-meter race, but Katie Najat still has a shot. She will be pole vaulting tonight in the final.
Excited to see that, definitely. Well, we always talk about where the U.S. stands in terms of the medal count, but can you break down those specific wins for us?
Absolutely. The U.S. is leading 79 medals overall, 25 of those gold. But this gets interesting. 70% of the medals earned for the U.S. were earned by women. They're really outpacing the men of gendered events, 49 for women, 21 for men. And this is the 3rd Olympics that they've been outperforming men, despite having less events available to them in previous Olympics. Betsy,
Wow.
Jay?
I think that's fantastic.
I do, too. I think it's great. Liz, thank you very much. The rest of the world has a lot of work to do to catch up to the American women.
Yep.
I think that speaks well for what we have athletically here for our women.
You go, girls. I'll tell you what I did look up on YouTube was the table tennis. You want to watch some fun competition.
Doesn't that look like CGI?
It is amazing. And the way that they serve, they do this little thing.
And then they're
It's
like 10 feet behind the
fantastic.
table when they're volleying.
Wheeling
It's
it
great.
back and forth. So
We're out of time. We're back tomorrow at 5, and we hope to see you then.
What Matters Most with Russ and Laura starts now.
Now at 6, Cuyahoga County says wear a mask. As the number of COVID cases explodes across Northeast Ohio, the county takes more steps to slow down the spread. Monica Robbins breaks down the new recommendations. Also, election aftermath. One day after the primary, it is now down to 2 in the race for the 11th District Congressional Seat. We'll preview November's general election. Hazing aftermath.
We regret sending him to St. Anne's. Big time.
A student athlete assaulted by a classmate. Members of the victim's family speak out about the justice they now seek in court. And enshrinement dedication.
His love for the game. He's not going to let any measly pandemic or travel restriction keeping him from doing the things he loves.
COVID throws a Pro Football Hall of Fame festival volunteer a bad break. We'll tell you about the unique way he's found to still take part in all the events.
From the WKYC studios, this is What Matters Most.
And good evening. Thanks for being with us. I'm Russ Mitchell.
And I'm Laura Queso. Tonight we have new local developments in the COVID-19 pandemic. First, the case rates in Ohio. The Department of Health reporting 2,167 new cases of COVID just today. And this is the highest level of daily cases reported since April. Hospitalizations are also on the rise with 113 today.
And Cuyahoga County and most surrounding counties remain in orange status, meaning high transmission of the disease. This is the Cuyahoga County Board of Health now recommends everyone medically able to wear a mask in public indoor settings when near others, regardless of vaccination status.
Senior health correspondent Monica Robbins is here to sort this all out for us, and there is a lot to talk about, Monica.
Yeah, there really is. You know, Delta is here. You know that. It's spreading fast among the unvaccinated, which is why Cuyahoga County Board of Health is supporting the CDC and recommending everyone wear masks indoors and near others. Now, the recommendation is for everyone, regardless of vaccination status and in areas of substantial or high transmission, which includes Cuyahoga County. Now, the guidance applies to everybody 2 and up who are medically able. County Executive Armin Budish is now requiring masks for everyone in all county buildings, including the Administration Building, Justice Center, and Courthouse. The health department is saying all teachers, staff, students, and visitors to school should mask regardless of vaccination